And what is up,
Oh,
my bros? It's a special day today. As you guys know, this is my favorite Kamen Rider series, and I'm so excited. Although, Gary, I want you, as my fellow host, Mr. Gamble, to go ahead and introduce who our guests are today.
okay. So, longtime viewers of my channel know this first guest as one of the biggest assholes I know. He has caused my wallet so much emotional pain and stress that I have this very special intro for him. He is the man who has single-handedly spent a crap ton of money, sending me down several rabbit holes, made me buy a dragon glider in Fortnite just by saying, "Hey Gary, there's a dragon glider in the shop." And he puts it with all my BS on a daily basis. The unknown asshole that is friends with Rye, aka Collector Shuki, and myself. He tolerated his existence. One of my best friends, Sean, aka Chenix. Go fuck yourself. How are you doing today,
Hello.
sir?
And
Hello.
that was his one.
And then we have the other guy who makes people spend a lot of money. This time it's more or less Sentai 5 and, well, Reggie and other people, because I have a stronger will than most people and I have no greed. You see what I did there? Mr. Vaughn, aka Mr. Cuber92, say hello, my good sir.
Hold on.
I let him out from the insane asylum.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Yes.
Yes.
Have you read the good book?
Hi, everybody.
Yes, I have read the good book.
Gary, this
So,
is effectively all of our wallets. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
so we're here. So we're here to talk about G Gundam, right? One of the greatest anime of all time.
Yes.
Yeah, sure, totally.
This
That
is
will be an
because it's
episode
been
at
like
some
so
point.
long that I have to rewatch if we are to talk about it.
I need to rewatch it. I have it. I just need to rewatch it.
I have it on Blu-ray. I can watch it anytime I want.
I did a rewatch like a couple months ago.
Are you gonna watch the dub or the sub?
The dub. It's the only acceptable version.
Okay, that's great. That's all I need to hear.
Okay, so let's talk some O's. What were your first impressions, if y'all remember? Because for me, it's been 11 years since O's, and things happened, and well, I don't remember all that much. So, Reggie, since it's your favorite show, you go first.
I mean, obviously, when it comes to first impressions, like we're coming fresh off of Double, so like I really enjoy that series, and I just see like how O's is kind of structured out. The color scheme of it, the red, the yellow, and the green all on just a black suit, and then just seeing the segment like in in the Double movie of him switching out the parts is like, oh, this is this is good. Because like as a kid, like I love like reading like the zoo books, like just going through like all of those and like seeing different animals. So animals are something that like I really love. Like I love Transformers, Beast Wars. Like I loved going to the zoo. Like almost every time I would draw stuff up, it would be like some sort of animal, would be a person. So like always being centered around animals just like had me excited. And then finding out like as time went on, like what each part like corresponded with, like that just was like, yes, okay, I need more of this. I can't wait to see where it goes. And then of course, we get the little preview of Og, and it's like, well, that's different. And then he became, like one of the most precious characters to me, like in in fictional history, if that makes sense. So yeah,
All right. So
either somebody
Sean, you're
scored
up
a
next,
goal or somebody agreed with me.
buddy.
No, you're right.
Oh wait, yeah, my mom and her boyfriend are watching soccer.
Oh, well,
Watching
there you go.
So they're watching the Euro League. Apparently, Chelsea just scored a goal. Anyway, Sean, you're up.
So, pretty much what Reggie said. Bose was the second rider that I ever watched live. And I remember seeing those first images of just the suit. Everyone making the joke about, oh, look, it's a traffic light, red, yellow, green, ha ha ha. But like Reggie said, suit looks really nice. Yep, just like that. I liked the idea. The medals were, well, because I liked the design of the medals when the original scans came out. Just like Reggie said, just different animals. The colors look nice. I mean, I was pretty hyped for it. Seeing a floating arm, that also helps too. But yeah.
Vaughn.
So for me, when I first saw those, it was actually I was following all the rumors when that was coming out. So, and I was still watching Double, and I was enjoying Double at the time. And then when I heard about O's, I was kind of standoffish a little bit, and I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna do better after Double, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel after this too. So we'll see what happened. And then the cast got announced, and the writer got announced, and I got very excited because that's one of my favorite writers of all time. Whew, whew. And just seeing the show progress and just seeing like everything happening. At first, I thought I was not gonna like it so much, but then I started to love it. Like I love it so much that I kept up. I legit watch O's at least once every 2 years just to make sure that I have my pretty much my whole O's fixation done. So I love the show. I really do love the show. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. It's legit one of my favorite shows of all time. It's legit one of my favorite shows of all time. That's all I got to say. Come on.
For me, it's a little bit of what the three said. The thing is like I've had so much time to reflect on just O's and just general, and how awesome it is. I think the biggest thing for me was at first, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like the suit. I was like, we just come off of Double, and Double had one of the cleanest suits in Rider. Now, keep in mind at that point, and then I watched Double as it aired, and that's back the like saga, and yeah, I thought the suit was. Then it was like the suit's actually kind of cool, and then they introduced Sagozo, and Sagozo is best form. Oh, that's it for me, Reggie. Reggie, you talk, please.
I talked already, but we can always talk.
Well,
But yeah, as you guys know, like it is my favorite show. Not just because of like, well, when it comes to the content, mine's up there. I can't grab it. I grabbed what I could. I grabbed these guys.
That's perfect. I cannot grab mine right now. I can't grab mine now. You're good.
I mean, I also grabbed this asshole, but we'll talk about him later. But yeah, so as I mentioned, it's my favorite show because, like, well, the concept, we came off of Double with like the depressing issue for a lot of their characters was like addiction, to the guy memories. I mean, we're gonna be talking about Double next month, but coming into this episode, this saga of desire, what you want, and desire takes on many different forms, as we saw with the different greeds. Like Uva, like his was more like his was all the greeds names actually kind of match up to what they like. So if I recall, like Uva's was to survive. So essentially, like his Miyomi were more combat oriented. Kazari is to steal. So like they were more of taking on whatever desire that the person had. Mezul was like to love. So hers like had some like twisted forms of love, like the desire of like to have a child. So she kidnapped mothers and things like that. And Gamel was more of like his own desire, like what he wanted in the moment. So, like, when it came to, our characters, where we had, Eiji, whose desire is a selfless one, which is, like, part of the reason why I keep reiterating in almost every show that I've been on, every podcast I've been on, that, Eiji, to me, is like, an ideal person to be a hero. Because, while he does have, like, when we saw with the unicorn Yummy, when it tried to feed off of his desire or show his desire, like, it was too immense. It was like he didn't just want to be like, this is like just what I desire in the moment. This is what I desire for like everyone. I could do for
Mhm.
everything. Like his ability to, you know, kind of just take on the situation of, you know, like, hey, there's this magical floating hand with this thing attacking. Like, I need you to put this on. Like, okay, this will help people. I'll do it. Um, yeah, and just like kind of seeing how like things went on. You know, like his friendship with like Hina, like the relationship he had with Ankh. You know, like just going off of this like begrudging partnership to like this person is like the most important person to me in my life. Like I need to like it's not the same without him, or it's not going to be like, you know, things are like the betrayal situation, things like that. Like there's a lot of things in the show, like a lot of drama that happens in the show that I think just really plays off well with, you know, that issue, or not the issue, but you know, the concept of desire. Like, hey, what if, am I going to be selfish or selfless? Like that's a lot of the internal conflict, especially with Ankh, you know, like because he's also one of the greed. You know, just what does he want? What does he really want? Does he want to be complete? But like, if he is complete, though, then what's next? Like, what is there to desire next? Like, because their whole, you know, the whole concept of desire for the show. That's like why I really like this show, because like, well, that's funny. It's like, yo, what do we desire next? And then they come up with all these products, and like, hey, I desire all that. But yeah, that's why like I love that concept of desire. Like, you gentlemen, take the floor. What are you guys' thoughts on at least the show's concept?
Oh, I can go next.
Really good. Like just, I mean, we have these show. I mean, how many writers you have where like the monsters are something born from the humans, but in this case, like it works. Like you said, Reggie said, just they throw a metal, they put a metal into the humans and pop out the monster, and then like it's, you know, like I said, it's. I like it. I like to show the, like I said, desire. Yeah, I'm not good with words, so someone take over.
Are you good? I can say the story is like pretty much like the whole plot was straight to the point. Like everything's about greed, everything's about desire, what you want, what you truly want, what's going to happen when you really want anything, but you have too much of it. Thinking of like going back and rewatching the show multiple times helped me think about like the different points that pretty much got us to the point where we had at the finale, as well as the movie. Just seeing these characters grow and just try to be able to learn from what they truly want, what they truly desire, because we have pretty much because we talked about AG, we talk about Hina, we also got Goto, we also got Date. Yeah, because they desire something else. Date desires getting all this money for his own set treatments, but Goto has his own desire and he wants to be a better person. He wants to do better, and we do see that points in the and actually in the mini episodes that we just received from for the movie. So just seeing these characters grow and just seeing them become truly memorable, pretty much help hit the nail, saying like, yeah, Oz is one of my favorite shows. It's like one of my favorite shows of all time. Not only Kamen Rider, not only Toku, but just one of my favorite shows that I just watched. And I like to show people about this show every single time because it's written well, the characters are really likable, and you can pretty much, and there's good action. And people love action, the special effects, might as well. So I truly, truly, really do love this show.
Okay, so my turn. What they all said? Yeah. Here's the thing, and I said this to Sean on several occasions. I always say to myself, I'm going to go back and rewatch, for example, Kamen Rider Blade. You know how many times I've gone back and rewatched a series that I've already seen?
How many?
0.
1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0.
I will say this though, one of my favorite parts of O's just doesn't have to do with the characters, but the actors.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had their bond is similar to what the bond between the 4 main actors on Supernatural were like.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Padalecki, Jensen Ackles, Mark Shepard, and Misha Collins. they all love each other so much that they still have a group chat. Apparently, I was listening to a podcast, and they're like, yeah, we talk all the time. But like, we've seen pictures in the past of Ank's actor and Watanabe's actor hanging out.
Yusuke Miura and Watanabe. And,
Date and Broto. I mean, Goto. Sorry.
No, you still call him Broto.
Broto-chan.
But like, it's just refreshing to know, like, you do make bonds after you work on these shows. And you're not just viewing them as a paycheck like certain PR actors that we won't get into here. But yeah, like, here's here's something else. I remember, now there used to be a podcast called Writers, Rangers, and Rambles.
Oh.
You know where I'm going with this, Sean.
Yes, I do.
There was a time where Metal Set 2 was so hard to find that when you found it, you had to buy instantaneously. So there was one episode of the podcast where like, yeah, it's in stock now. We're all gonna go buy it. And I'm like, they were insane, but now I understand why. The O's medals are very nice and very, very pretty.
Yeah, yes, they are.
These specifically are the CSM set.
They do a much better job of hiding the chip in there, right? I believe.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
they
like
do.
you can see that they painted the backgrounds essentially. Just a little bit of trivia for those who are watching and do want to get into O's metal collecting.
Don't do it.
All my other sides are. Yeah, they come in that little. If you get the CSM complete selection, complete set, the first one, that's what it comes in. So you got like all of the show medals, all of the movie medals. So yeah, the very top sheet is Heartbreak.
Spoilers.
As well as the Foundation X version of the medals, the first, the Talk Torabata and
The silver one.
You had to get if you wanted to get the rest of the Foundation X medals, you had to order the complete the medal set extra.
I think I need that.
And
so
the new set coming out here at the end of the year is going for the low price of $750. So you can get right on that.
Are you gonna buy it for me for Hanukkah, buddy?
How about you just buy both of us, and I'll pay you back in like the next millennium? I don't know.
Well, actually, it's funny because last year or the year before the really cheap O's renewal figure art on GameStop? Was that last year?
That was
last year.
2 years ago.
All right, so here's what happened. I was on Twitter casually browsing, and then I see, someone GameStop has a $17 O's figure art. So I buy it. I then called Sean. Hey, you want a cheap O's figure art? How much? 22 shipped. How, where? Text me. Yes, go. Attack.
And I have it.
So do I.
I should have bought another one.
I want more.
It's the only figure art renewal that I had that I kept. I also had an Agito that I got off Collector Shuki a couple years back.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, where's my renewal figure art for the Greed? Because I would buy a Gamel to go along with my random display of figure arts.
They need to get into that as soon as they're done with the combos. But they need to do the lost combos in after that. And then...
Yeah, they do.
Ankh especially, because Ankh never had accurate wings when it came out. It's just like the solid red, and like the show, it's like the glossing red,
rainbow iridescent. It's more of like a maroon, actually. Like mine's up there. Like you'd have to. I mean, I have detail brushes. I could probably repaint mine, but it's just like it's been a hassle.
And I don't have any degree on figure art, so I will love some. I would really love some. I will actually want an AG figure art too. I need one.
They need to make one now that they're gonna make the Shogun comes out next month.
Yes. So
Now the question is, what outfit did they use?
Where's my message for keywords of AG's underwear?
They would come
That's
to
just
Asia if they
Being in
made it.
Bandai clothing.
they,
I mean, theoretically, you could buy a Ken doll, throw away the Ken doll, and just take the. Oh, you found it.
Yeah, that too.
Yes,
both
Peacemaker.
those riders need representation of some form.
They need figure arts. They need
Yeah.
figure arts.
they really do, especially Aqua.
Yes.
I mean, the fact that they got his actor back for Geo, like you need to. I was expecting at some point to bring him out, but yeah, like as I was kind of going along with my little thing about the O's medals. If you guys do want to get into collecting them, you have many varieties. You can get the original DXs. You can get the Gashapon. You can get the candy toy from back then. You can go for the CSM set. Just a little point of reference though for how they are kind of different among those. DX, Gashapon, and the CSM, they all have the die-cast metal ring. Gashapon has plastic. On the back of the DXs and the CSM, you have the accurate, line. For Gashapon, there's only one line per metal, and there's little stars in it. And then for the candy toy, it's like a really weird, like technical design with a QR code on the back. So if you guys want to, be uniform, you can go for this. Like you can go all in on DX, you can go all in for CSM, or you can go all in for the candy toy, or you can mix and match. But yeah,
I mean,
emotional damage.
Here's something else.
I'm sorry.
If you on this, actually, here's a very good question. How are the O's prices on the secondary market?
Yeah. What he said.
There's a reason why his name is O. That's how many you're
There's a reason why they're re-releasing a CSM set like this only like a year or two after.
And there's a reason why it's being sold out multiple times.
Yeah.
Yes.
O's is definitely a top writer for not just for fans like us, but also in Japan. I mean, it's the fact that it's one of the few that actually got a.
I'm actually on Mandarake right now looking up shit. I'm curious.
Yeah, because it's probably gonna be like 400 or 500 Mandarake, but you have to include the shipping because shipping for me costs 100 when I shipped this out like 2 years ago. So yeah.
And that's if you're just because I think the new stuff coming out is just like the scanner and the new medals from the movie to go with. People already have it. Then there's just like this is the medals from the show, and then the big set just everything, like literally every medal ever made.
It's an anniversary extra, so there's the 10th anniversary, like as
Reggie. I'm borrowing my F-bomb from the next episode because I said so.
Okay.
Hey Vaughn.
Yo.
Respectfully, fuck you. I'm on Mandarake right now, and I found an O's driver for $500.
I told you.
Yeah.
I love you, my friend, but I must say, I didn't have to pay bills. I'd buy it.
I took advantage of the stimulus check, so that's why I had to get this.
It has every freaking medal.
Yeah. The show, the Palpatine ones, Momotaro, the Silver Rim ones.
Yeah, the Mega Max ones.
Yep, those two.
X, Amazon, stronger. You can even have a Panda and Kangaroo in there.
And that's not just the medals too, because in the CSM scanner you can have it sound like when the King used it. Basically just like Scuffle, but you can still do that.
They also plays the little standby music. You
can have On staying the Tajidor combo, just like in the last episode.
You have the cracked metal in it.
Yeah. Oh, and when you get the new metal, it's going to have
the new scanner. It's going to have Tajidor Eternity.
Yeah.
I still need to get. I need to get the spinner. Like,
What's
Amazon Japan? Amazon Japan.
So I have a question. I've never remember what's Kudotero's axe called again?
the Metagabario.
Gabario.
So when's it getting a re-release with all the sounds from the CSM combos in it?
I wish.
That needs to be the next thing after the spinner.
Yeah. No, it has to be the next thing after Birth.
Oh yeah, Birth.
Yeah.
So if you guys,
do you want me to go broke? I will buy
that. Yes.
I'm buying it. I have to. I'm forced.
Is this all just a secret conspiracy to make you spend more money?
Yes.
Wasn't it also confirmed that each of the core metals, like the combos, have a unique sound in the new Birth driver with like the cross section on it?
We're not sure yet. We know that it does have its own internal scanner, though, to pick up that it has those metals. So it's just unfortunate that thing can't come to the States. Or it can't be.
That's the downside.
That's Team Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Like you guys know me. I want to spread the good word. But
like
it seems that the drivers are literally the only things that can't come over here.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate because here's the thing. I love what Team Rider's been doing. Team Rider's been killing it. They've been knocking it out of the park. But the biggest thing was the legitimate reason why they can't bring it over. And I don't know if I'm at liberty to say why, but let's just say U.S. patents are a bitch.
Yeah.
Any fan of Shark Tank can tell you that it's so hard to get something patented, and once you do, you're like locked in for like a good 30, 40 years. But anyway, getting back to my own point about O's on Mandarake, because I have the two enablers here.
You got the enablers 1, 2, and 3.
You might as well either buy it on there or buy it on Top Collectibles. If it's still available.
Here's the thing. It wouldn't be until later in the year, early next year, because reasons.
I don't think they have the big set anymore. I think they still have like the regular set up there. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to at least get that and get the other stuff later.
Yeah, let me check. Just because of the unfortunate when the news came out that it couldn't come stateside, everybody panicked.
Yeah, that would at least help the price a little bit.
Yeah,
especially in the shipping.
I mean, here's something else to keep in mind. Reggie and Sean know this from me talking to them over the course of the last decade almost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impatient as all hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to get these last 4 Daiboken back at later this year, literally the next day. So I bought the rest of them. They'll be here in a couple days.
To be fair, Taka sold out a Siren Builder before I can grab it.
Shoshota's still available. I still need to pick that up. Sorry.
I may need to make a Mandarake order.
Are you buying things on the episode?
Hold on.
Is it confirmed?
And his credit card number is.
You're like me when I did the B Commander on my live stream. I just went ahead and pre-ordered it.
That's how.
I think that this is the first we're doing live shopping on an episode of Bugz2Men.
Do you remember what the title of the episode is?
Money.
Okay, my wallet is there? Question mark.
All right, since we're doing live shopping, let me check Mandarake right quick.
As they're doing that, we might as well kind of go over what we were kind of talking about when it came to these products. So as they mentioned, later this year, as they've been going on, with the Shinkoto Seiho, upcoming this month on the 18th, I believe, is Burakawani combo.
Buraka! Wadi!
the combination of Cobra, Kame, and Wani. Uh, those are coming out this month. Next month, we are going to be taking a look at the Shogun from that same movie. Most Wonderful, which really threw people off because it was a stream about O's. They were hoping to see more than just Bokwani because we're still missing Kutira.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Of
we're
the
definitely
of the 7/8 original combos, we're missing Kutira. We got Super Tataba, the Kamashi Nations exclusive last year, and then we're getting the Tachadori Eternity combo kind of to match with that. September. Those pre-orders sold out incredibly quickly.
Yes,
Yes,
it sold out within a minutes.
So yeah, I have a certain middleman I go through, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to get it because it literally sold out before he even got to see my message. So then they revealed that it was going to come out in November as a second wave, and that sold out.
Yeah.
So, but one of my buddies, he found a website that apparently still had a pre-order still open in stock. I went for it. So fingers crossed, guys. This thing sticks.
I think I'm the one that took the order from Big Bad Toy Store. I'm sorry. I was the one that took that one.
You're fine, Vaughn. You're fine. You're my brother, man. You gotta share in the glory, man.
We are bros.
We are bros.
Yes.
I still need to draw the logo. As you guys know, I did get a new iPad, so I've been drawing a lot lately. You might have seen actually in our little thumbnail, the show's year 2 logo. I guess I can call it that. So let me see if I can pull it up on here if I can.
Meanwhile, my wallet is safe.
Tajador figure arts was 15,000 yen.
This is our year 2 logo.
I love it. That's so good.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw it. That's really good.
As you can tell, well, it's a little bit hard to see on camera, but
Ooh, Black Beat. Ooh, Black Beat's on here.
Gary's favorite show, Blade. And then, of course, it's the most recent writer, so that's why it's the M. So I've been drawing a lot lately. That's been my hobby for this. So I will draw the Bros logo eventually, and I will get that actually put on T-shirts if possible.
So for my new position, I'm actually trying to relearn Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. So I've been doing a bunch of random tutorials that I'm doing myself when I was in college for different tools and such. Also, Vaughn, I have a question. Are you a fan of the Miami Dolphins?
I was when I was younger.
I'm so sorry. Your team is only relevant in the time of Dan Marino.
But that's nice. That's a good. That was good.
And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Well, hold on. My company makes these books. That's why I have it. So.
Okay. That does look nice. But then again, everybody that lives here does love Miami Dolphins. Me, I'm just here.
Okay, so going back to random shopping. Well, random shopping, if I may, for 1 second.
Gary, this is. We've been on a tangent for the random shopping for the last 10 minutes.
Okay. Wow.
I'm looking for a Geki Fire. Sue me.
Oh God.
Mute him. I have the power.
Don't you still want to buy a Siren Builder first?
I can't find one domestically. Anyway, continue, Reggie.
So, as you guys know, we talked about the concept of things. We've talked a little bit about Eiji. We talked a little bit about Ankh. I mean, if we want to talk a little bit more about Ankh, though, kind of his journey. I mean, we kind of had the trope of the villain protagonist. He is helping the hero, but he does have ulterior motives. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm helping you protect people, but I want my medals first. I'm looking for this stuff. like just him going from selfish to selfish, selfish to selfless. Just seeing that journey. Like he, because of his history of being betrayed. Like this, they cover it in the novel. Like he used to be like the king of the birds, and like he actually was like helpful to people. But then one of his one of his yummy ended up doing something incredibly horrible. I won't get into it. But that soured humans' opinions of him, and then he decided to go help the king O's, and then got betrayed. So like obviously when he first came onto the scene, he was very distrustful of humans, but like, hey, I need you to do this so I can become complete again. But then as time went on, you could see his bond growing with Eiji and Hina. Like these aren't just puppets for me right now. These are people who actually care and want to actually help me. And then when Lost Ankh came around, that was just like, this is my chance to be complete again. Like this is like, but even then, like he still felt empty. Like he got what he wanted, but it didn't complete him. It's the best way to put it. Because like he felt the guilt of that. Yeah, I betrayed my friends. Like I betrayed people who cared about me. Like to do this. Like, was it really worth it? Like, is this really being alive? Of course, his sacrifice in the end, like becoming the selfless person that he was. Like he knew that his metal was about to crack, but he had to help Eiji. Like he had to help his friend. He didn't want him to die. Like even though he knew he was on the verge of death, like I have to help him. So that's why that kind of cemented Ankh as like a definite like favorite character. Because I mean, we had in the previous series we had Philip also like, hey, this is like the last time I can do this, otherwise I'm gonna become one with the earth and like I'm not gonna come back, and
I'll become Earth's data.
So but Ankh, it's just like their story, it's kind of like begrudging friendship to true companions. And then we'll talk about the movie like way down the line, but because there's a lot to say about that. But it's Ankh is just like definitely one of the best characters. Like, even when you think about his circumstances though of taking over Shingo's body, but technically and taking care over Shingo's body, he was keeping him alive.
Yep.
It was unintentional selflessness, but like that was just kind of a way to also keep him safe at that point too, because like, hey, if he's dying and the other greed find out that hey, he's actually not a human form, he's a host, and then like, hey, I can target him, but like, hey, no, you can't, because I am him. He has power now.
Can I just go off of what you were saying? When you get into more depth, like one of the biggest jokes is that Ankh says like 18,000 popsicles a day. When you find out just because he's possessing Shingo's body, he can finally, for the first time, like experience like just like even flavor. Because you along the lines when Reggie's slowly becoming a greed of the purple metals, you get to basically lose all your senses. You just become this walking basically just a walking bag of metals wanting stuff. And that just goes into that, do I just really just want to be that again, or do I want to be something else?
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I liked about Ankh was that he started off as an asshole and then he became like nicer and more, he opened up more. And I think it just also helps that Ryosuke Miura is just a phenomenal actor.
Really great actor.
Although I will say this much, I want those pants.
Yeah.
Which one? The red ones?
The red ones.
Okay, he had different pants, so we gotta make sure which pants we're talking about.
I also love how if I recall correctly, it's been 11 years since I watched those. Early on, didn't Hina ask other way around? Didn't Ankh ask Hina if she wanted him to like leave Shingo forever.
I think it was more later down the line.
Yeah, they go like it was a little bit later.
Well, I tried.
You're fine.
You say he started as an asshole. He's still an asshole, but now he's a nicer asshole.
That I care about, and I want to possess my brother's body.
Yes.
But
And that actually explains Hina's relationship, because he does really do care about Hina. Like, he learned. I feel like a lot of Hina's brother pretty much took control, like how Unk felt, because he started caring about her and started definitely caring about AG a lot. But I can feel the brother and sister relationship between Unk and Hina a lot more than
so it's
Shingo.
kind of like, yeah, like it's the typical like, you're like, oh yeah, you're here, and then like, oh hey. But yeah, that could have been like an explanation of like the longer he was on Shingo's body, the more he was influenced by his emotions too.
Mhm.
Like, because like what John was saying, like they don't have, like, as agreed, they don't have senses, they don't have like emotions that are desperately needed. Like, that's why they desire a lot of that stuff. I mean, they do have, of course, the feeling of greed, but it's like, and well, they can experience anger and things like that, but they don't understand like the other versions of human emotions, like love and compassion and things like that. I mean, Gavel would probably be like the one exception to that, because he actually legitimately cared about Mazul. And like Mazul, like, kind of was more of like, saw Gamel as a way to feel that motherly love. So that's why she kept kind of babying him. But like Gamel, like, if because Gamel actually means to pilfer, so it's like to take on. What he sees. Hey, no, I want that. Instead of like, hey, I'm going to help these people, or like I'm going to have these people live out their desires. Hey, I'm going to take on what I see. But for him, like, especially like when it came to, like, I guess we're talking about greed deaths at this point now. Like, well, the irony of a lot of these deaths. So like the first one was obviously Kazari to steal. He died as Dr. Maki stole his medals.
Yep.
Like, literally stole his medals, cracked one, left him, while he had one cracked, and left him for dead. So like Kazari was this big, like, he loved to be like a mastermind. Like, he loved to manipulate events, and in the end, he was the one manipulated. Nazul, like that was when she started to kidnap the mothers and children and things like that. Like she didn't actually experience that love, and that's when she got killed. Gamo essentially went on a rampage, thinking like, "Hey, I can restore Mezul because like I still have like her cracked metal. Like I can still save her." But then he died. His death was like, Gamo was a tragic villain. Just having that hallucination as he's dying, and Mezul smiling as he gave her his piece of he gave her broken metal, last piece of candy. That was sad. And then we had, Uva to survive. He did not want to survive in that moment when Maki was just flinging metals into him to turn him into the vessel. Like, I just want to die at this moment. And the irony of him, being the last of the four villainous greeds to live, like, that's just.
Should we talk about Ankh? Because he technically didn't die, but when he got possessed by Lost Ankh, that got emotional to me, actually. Because
Lost Ankh overtook him.
Yeah, when Lost Ankh overtook him, pretty much, because he wanted to be whole, and because of that, Lost Ankh, the baby Ankh, just showed up and like, yeah, let me just take control of you. But just seeing Ankh being so scared, and that's how the actor did a real job. I got scared for a right hand for getting possessed and getting sucked up by a child, which is weird, but still, it was just, I got so emotional because I rewatched that preview of that episode every single time I see the emotion that the actor is giving out. So
I mean, I can relate to that more. Just here's the thing. I've been doing like this is a tangent, a Jace. I got scared as a kid watching the original Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'll tell you why. There, Vaughn, you've seen the original Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
The which one?
OG Yu-Gi-Oh, like season.
Yeah.
Do you remember when it was Odeon versus Joey, and then out of nowhere, Marek became Melvin, aka Yami Marek?
Yeah. I definitely remember that.
I'm tricking a core memory inside of Reggie right now. But anyway, where I was going with that is I was genuinely scared for the first time because when we saw Marek was like this cool, calm-headed dude. He was like, I just want the Pharaoh's power. Wah! And then he became Melvin. He's like, oh, I'm going to murder everybody. And then I'm going to take the Pharaoh's power. I can relate to I can relate to what you're saying about when you saw Lost Arm possess because going back to what Reggie was saying earlier, the Greed just wanted to become complete beings, and that's it, I think. But it's a really interesting way of saying, hey, we actually need to do this, otherwise we are going to die. So I thought that was a pretty cool, relatable tangent. Continue.
It also just really adds to like a not really a comedy, but like this the theme of like body horror, where you're essentially just trapped in your own body, but you can't control what you're doing. Well, this thing that is supposed like somehow spawned from you is in control. Like Lost Ark as a concept is really strange because essentially it's just his body just roaming around, and then eventually it grew sentience of its own, and essentially almost became like basically almost like Ankh himself.
So like when it comes to Lost Ankh, you gotta remember how they were kind of separated. Like Ankh kind of took all the memories and obviously the right hand, leaving the body without like a mind of its own. So whenever I guess when Kogami probably took out the Kujaku metal from it, like that's what awoken it. That's what gave it its own mind, because like that's kind of how the Greed got their original personalities back then, was when King O's alchemists all took out at least one metal from each of the Greed to kind of give it the sentience. So at that point on, that's when Lost Ark kind of was developing. Like it was like an infant, like not understanding anything, becoming the creepy toddler that Dr. Maki was able to manipulate around to then eventually kind of like, and its mind was developing at a quick rate to like, hey, that's the rest of me, like I need to get the rest of it back. So I mean when it first came on, like when he first appeared, like he actually said like me, like where am I, like Doko.
I will also say this much. I love how, and I want to just shift gears to Dr. Maki for a second. I love how he is one of my favorite. Reggie, we need to somehow buy you the Kyo-chan, or at least get a Dr. Evil doll we can customize it to be Kyo-chan. Anyway,
Kyo-chan needs to be.
I think they released one.
They did, but do I really want one of those in my room?
Oh yeah, that would be so creepy. Up, Molly.
Anywho, what I was going to say. So, I have thoughts on Dr. Maki. Like I said, I love Ankh. Gamal is aloof as hell. And the reason why I like Dr. Maki is because I have this thing, and Sean can attest to this, I love batshit crazy villains.
Yes.
For example, one of my all-time villains is for Supernatural. Why? Because like Dark Content, Power in Space, he's gleefully evil. But here's where I relate it back to O's. Dr. Maki had no character development at the start. He had childhood trauma because his house burned down, and if I recall correctly, he didn't he have Norman Bates syndrome to the point where he made up good memories with his mom or was it with his sister in his mind?
He was a self-serving villain. Kind of, in his mind, he manipulated his own events to benefit himself. Like, hey, like, it was a tragedy that my sister left me behind. I always keep her close in my memory because like that's my sister. And then you find out that
he killed the hell.
He's the cause of the fire because of jealousy. Of like, hey, like all I have left. Because back then, as a child, all I have left is my sister. Like I don't want anybody else to take her. But wasn't she gonna get married, Vaughn? And then like kind of behind her.
Yeah, because she hated him.
He was abusive, essentially. Like
she was not a good person at all.
He developed kind of like a. Well, no, Stockholm syndrome is for kidnappers, but kind of something like that. Like he viewed her as a good person, even though like all of her actions back then were horrible. And then like the day that he snapped. And then
that's where I was going with the. Oh, sorry. What I was gonna say is that's where I was going with the whole Norman Bates thing because the original in one of the Psycho sequels. It was established that the reason why Norman Bates killed his own mom was because she was about to get married, and his psycho switch turned on. And he's like, "I'm gonna go kill them," and then he killed the mom too. And in Bates Motel, that's the point. You see what I'm trying to get at, right?
Yeah, like it basically just like the thing when he was first introduced, he just was a weird character. But at this point, by the time he showed up, he already had a bunch of weird characters. Like, through the entire show, he's never like directly making eye contact to everyone. He's just like talking to them, but he's like looking at a doll. Like, yeah, he's just big actor, like what Reggie's doing. And then like you knew something was wrong because as soon as you knock the doll off, he's like having a panic attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's his security blanket. It's the remnant of what his. The good memories of his sister essentially is why he like keeps it around because Kyo-chan used to belong to his sister.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the fire burnt off the hair of the doll, and then like so that's why he dressed up in a little suit. And that's why like at first you're thinking when you see Chiyoko-san and you see that her resemblance to his sister, like that was just like this is a sad man. He just misses his family, and of course we got the weird hybrid yummy that he made, the panda whale one that was around hugging people. And it's just then you find out what happened. And
very scary, man.
Something that it's like one of those rare times on Rider where I was not expecting it. It's like it's just weird, like, oh, he killed his sister in a burning fire of death.
It's kind of like what we talked about in the Wizard episode last month, where you had Sora, as Gremlin, like, okay, he's just a quirky guy, and then you find out what he was like before he became Gremlin, and like,
snip, 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 snip,
no, spray bottle, no. That's kind of how it was like with Maki. It's like you just see him as a peculiar person at first, and then you find out he's, as you mentioned earlier, batshit crazy.
Here's what I will say also about Maki. I may like Gamma, but him as a Kyoto Green is just one of my favorite monster designs in all of Rider. Like the AG one looks weird, but the Kyoto Green looks kind of. I'm gonna just refresh myself as to how this suit makes before I make another point.
I think that when it comes to the differences between the two, Maki has more of the Kyoryu metals in him at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Asia, I think, has like.
He only has a few in there.
And then we also got to think about their stance on humanity. Asia, is still a person. Dr. Maki just wants humanity to burn and crash and burn. So he's embracing his inner monster. That's why his form looks more complete. Even later on, though, when Maki is flinging some more metals into Asia, to kind of further his greedification, he's still Asi's greed form still looks incomplete.
Yeah,
it's because he's still holding on to his humanity. He still has that selfless desire of his. Maki. I think that's why it's a good parallel. Is that like Eiji, like both of them don't have desires, but Eiji is to protect the world, to help the world. Maki's is to let it burn, and that's why like it kind of worked out that for the Kyoryu medals, because the Kyoryu medals have an absence of desire.
Mm-hmm.
So they latch on to, I guess, whatever has a strong desire. So in that case, it'd be Eishi and then Maki. That's how much Maki hated the world, essentially, is why he was able to take them in on himself. But yeah, that is a
say
clean
also.
suit.
So can I just say also that out of all the medals, I will say the Kyoryu ones are my favorite. With the second one, the second to the Sagozo, because Rhino is my favorite animal.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, they're. I like all of them pretty much because they all like nice coloring. Like it's just like some of the designs they chose.
Yeah, so like
it's like the.
Before, I do have a candy toy. I don't know if I sold it or not, but I did have a candy toy where I repainted the Tyrannosaurus medal to be the one from Dino Thunder Ranger. I repainted it to look like that because if you look at the design, it kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
Now, Reginald, you're giving me a horrible idea.
I was about to call you. I was about to call you Gabriel, but like that's not your name.
I mean, to be fair, Sean calls me Jerome.
Yeah. Jerome.
Wait, who said Jerome?
Sean does.
Think of a name.
He called me Jerome and Gerald.
Yeah, Gerald more because I told you.
Gerald.
But what I was going to say is, now Reggie, you're giving me horrible ideas. I may end up buying the O's metal set for that, getting it sent to you from Mandarake, and be like, hi, here's $25. Can you give me custom Dino Thunder medals, please?
I'd be willing to do it. Damn it. Now I should just Photoshop that. Anyway, just like know that concept.
There's a light in the distance.
See him coming
closer.
As more of the PRs, that's actually good. That's actually a good. Once we're done with Rider, I think we should just do monthly episodes talking about certain PR seasons.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
But speaking of music, I guess we can go ahead and transition over to the amazingness that is the O soundtrack, especially if you download the O's combo medley and
you could tell you have a bunch of good songs when you make a song that mixes them all together, and it's really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are no bad songs on that album.
There is not, and I love that. I think that the reason why people would rank Shout Out as being like the lower of the tiers is because we never really got to hear it. We only really heard it in Megamax, right?
Yeah.
It just the point. It's also a song that like is really hard to find. On like some places, like YouTube, you can find 8,000 Tajadors or Tajadors. You can find all that. Whenever music, I can never find Shout Out.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's like.
Because I think that with each of the other combos, like all of their theme songs got released as albums.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Shout Out you didn't get until like the collection medley, so.
And
I do love the fact that each of the song titles all reference the combos, like Regret Nothing, Tighten Up, Tatoba, you gotta keep it real, got the Kiriba, right on right time, right time. Sun goes up, sun goes over. Shout out.
Power
to of those different combo songs, which one's your guys' favorite? I mean, here, let's exclude Time Judged All and Power to Terror. I feel like it's gonna be like that's a lot of people.
No, we have to.
Yeah,
you have to include those.
Besides those two particular ones, which ones is your favorite? Because we can all agree that those two are like some of the top tier
Sun,
from the show.
Sun Goes Up is one of my favorites, and I'll tell you why. There is a part that reminds me of a sequence from a South Park episode, and I'll explain. The part in the lyrics where it's like bounce there, you can't
Mhm.
It reminds me of the episode of South Park where Randy tries to get testicular cancer.
Oh, I think I get where you're coming from. And Gary, Mallet, order in the court.
Ow.
Order in the court.
No, but honestly, in all seriousness, I think Reverse Rebirth is another banger.
Oh yeah.
Reverse.
He said Top Regret Nothing is really good. Gotta Carry Bob. Yeah. Those would be the ones I would go with, accepting of the two best ones.
Me, I think it's Right on Right Time. Right on Right Time, and if we're thinking about music, also Rebirth. That one. I can't wait. I cannot wait to play that song with the birth driver. That's definitely gonna be a plus.
Wait, hold your horse, my friend. That song's in there?
It's most likely going to be in there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, when it comes to, I think that they actually did put the combos songs in the 10th anniversary scanner.
I
believe so too.
I think so.
Because you only got Time Judges All,
Mm-hmm.
and Anything Goes, I think, in the CSN. I mean, like, I haven't turned mine on in a while. Vaughn, you have yours there. I don't know if you have batteries, but...
Oh, I do. Hold on.
I mean, the fact that we got, like, it turned ska and, like, that kind of genre into, like, a genre that I like just because of all those content. Yeah, Sean's got the awesome new synth, I think. Okay.
We don't talk about
music.
that anyway.
Yeah, he has only time to all in the opening, and then also a few of the background music.
Yeah, like the battle music, the finisher music, and then.
I actually have a funny story about Time Judge All, if I may, real quick.
Yes.
I was actually at my cousin's barbecue upstate, and that song came out, and I was so paranoid that I was going to get taken off of YouTube. I called my friend. I'm like, David, do you mind ripping me from YouTube? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Anyway, what were you going to say, Reggie?
Oh, I was a reckless person. I just download off the internet.
Yeah.
Wait. So you've been buying stuff from Japan longer than I have?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Nah. The first time I bought stuff from Japan was 2013.
Yeah, it's about the same time.
I mean, technically, I think I've been buying stuff from Japan longer than you guys have.
Well, you lived in Japan, so
yeah, that's what I was saying. I got to Kamen Rider though, like right when I was leaving though, which made me sad. But yeah, of the music, definitely Right on Right Time. I think of the Right on Right Time and Regret Nothing. Like those two always get stuck in my head. Reverse Rebirth, I think that Shout Out has to be the lowest on my list. Unfortunately, it's just because
it's still a good song. It's still
a good song. Yeah, it's
the least best of the best.
And plus, it came out after Time Judge All.
Yes, exactly. That's sort of the problem.
Because it set that expectation, but then, but yeah, the music.
Ooh, the whole hand songs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is why we need an Aishi figure art, guys. It's because we're getting on. We have Ong already. We're gonna get the Shogun next month, and now we need an Aishi.
Wait, did you pre-order Shogun one?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
How could I not,
Vaughn? I want you to think about what you just asked and who you're talking to.
because I didn't pre-order it because I'm like I want AG more than I want a dude that's been playing the same role for almost like 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
By the way, one thing that I will say is, do y'all remember the episode where they made the movie and instead of the belt doing the jingle, it was I think Date?
Yeah, it was out
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite moments in all rights. And all right.
That whole, because O's also had the thing of having the 1000 episode of the show of Kamen Rider in it.
The franchise,
Yeah.
And everybody had a name of like 1,000 in it.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's still with the issues.
And then of course we got
trying to think.
the movie with
Also, the theme song, no matter whether or not you listen to the remix, the slower version, the faster version, it's a straight up banger.
As soon as you hear the drums, I'm freaking out.
It's like,
the movie version that has what's that?
I said I can't wait until the new version comes out.
The latest version.
Yeah.
The version that has Shu singing along with I can't remember her name. But,
Maki Ogra.
Oh yeah. So when Shu and Maki are singing it together, though, that was like I was just like, I need to have that on my phone. Listen to that one over and over again.
And it's been on your phone for almost 11 years now.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Date at all? I don't remember.
No, we did not.
Yeah,
we did.
No, we were talking mostly about Eiji, Og, very briefly about Hina, very briefly about Chiyoko-san, and we talked about the greeds. But there is another side of everybody that is still watching it. It looks like we only have one view right now, but whatever. We're gonna talk about it anyway. There is another side of the story. We have Eiji and his group. We have the greed, and then we have a third faction that does actively support Eiji's group, but has ulterior motives.
Kogami.
The Kogami Foundation.
Actually, today is my grandfather's birthday. Reggie, so thank you.
But yeah, the Kogami Foundation, the descendant of the original O's, Kosei Kogami and his squad of very, very impressive people. Of course, we have his cake-eating secretary, who actually turns out to be a complete badass. That we're surprised that she didn't really get to use birth outside of a very quick special. Satanaka-san. We have the former police officer trying to better himself, as Vaughn mentioned earlier. Shintaro Goto, and the combat medic that made every man and woman swoon, Date Akira.
Yes.
That man is pretty.
That man is a gorgeous man. I didn't know he was that rude.
Abs are majestic.
Yeah. The episode where that scientist fell in love with him, I can understand. I didn't know he was so jacked until oh man. As we know, they kind of supplied, the city with vending machines that I'm pretty sure there's gonna be 50 or 60 people who actually live in that city going, why is this thing not actually giving me any drinks? Where is my soda? Or questioning what is peacock flavor?
Imagine them pushing the button and the bike just falling on oops.
What is gorilla juice?
Is that like Red Bull?
You see, gorilla juice.
Hope to God doesn't taste like gorilla oil.
Yeah, we got our vending machine. The ride vendor.
Gorilla juice is what Michael Situations Sorrentino drinks on Jersey Shore. Anyway, here's what I will say, because that's actually a great segue into the Androids for 1 second.
Yeah, because going back into the we go back into the robot buddy that we just left off of the double. We had the memory gadgets. We have the Candroids.
Yeah. I love
They
them.
were, it was I liked them too. They were still in like the early days before they started to get like really used up. I think they stopped doing it about Winter. It was still like a new kind of not really fresh because they've done like the concept of little robot buddies before, but these all look. These were good because they were unique. They were cans that open up into animals, and the animals being based off some of the metals also helped too.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we never got like full sets though of Candroids. That's reputation. We only got we got Taka and Kajaku, and then we went to just only Bata. We only had Tora, and then Unagi and Taco, and Gorilla and Triceratops.
I still say the EO one's one of my favorites just because of the amount of stuff it does, like to transform. But what I will say is, going off what Sean actually just said, so we have like the little robot buddies and HBQs we'll talk about at some point next year, most likely, because LOL, what is scheduling anymore?
Yeah. The disc animals.
The disc animals. But then we had that from Double to
Wizard.
Wizard?
Wizard. Guy did not have. Guy didn't have.
Had lock vehicles, but no lock buddies.
They had the lock vehicles, but they did not have like the little robot. I don't think we've gotten the little robot dude since Wizard.
Geo technically because they had the.
Oh.
Yeah, the little
O's.
Yeah. I drink the Brigade Geo.
Watchroid, the Suica arms Freud thing. Freud. But yeah, they're a neat little concept. I love the fact that they do turn into little soda cans, but at the same time, I wish that we could have gotten the full set. Oh yeah, Peacemaker. Yeah, Wizard had Plum Monsters. Wizard was like the last one that we had after, and then there was nothing. Drive, I guess you could technically say the shift cars were little buddies because
they were sentient.
Yeah.
The icons, kind of, but they're not gimmicky buddies enough. They are gimmick.
They were the show.
X8 had nothing, and then Build
just had a phone bike.
I mean, you could technically claim that the Cross Dragon was a robot.
Oh yeah, Cross Dragon.
Oh yeah,
but that's just it.
But you didn't really see it do much after the first couple episodes, like by itself.
Yeah,
because he stopped using it.
Yeah, that's true. I finally got a belt. Ooh, here's a new belt.
See, that's why I kind of like what happened with O's and Birth is that they keep reusing their arsenal. They don't just completely drop things. And of course, with the issue with the Pluto tier metals of kind of taking over AG at the most inconvenient times, he still used the random combos. Like he still would switch off what he needed. Like I think that's why it was good to have them, and then we have. Obviously next year was Forza, and that one went really gimmick heavy, but then focused more on the other forms instead of just the base form, and then whatever was the next thing. They technically do have little robot forms, Peacemaker, but I wouldn't really call them little robot buddies because they only come out when you when you transform.
Yeah, they show up and just become armor. That's what
I mean, the only one that you would technically count would be Shakuriki Sports because Gen would use that as a bike to ride around, but I wouldn't really claim it as a buddy. But yeah,
but like you said, definitely with the Candroids, though, some did get used more than others. They use Hulk all the time to find stuff. They took 100 octopuses and made a flying
bridge
road, a road. But then you have it's Tor, right? The tiger.
Yeah, the one that turns into the ride vendor.
That just turned the ride vendor into a massive bike, and he used it twice.
Yeah.
And
then
Dante has the gorilla one that helped him pick up the cell
metals into the jug.
That's probably the most used one because again, at least it's tech stuff. And it's always so funny. There's 3 of them, so just the
Let me look at those. Dang it.
Yeah, Candroids. I think Vaughn go anywhere from like, depending if you find them loose on Mandarake, but then again, you won't get the cell metal that comes with them. They went. I think the last time I checked, it was like 1,500 for a loose one, and then like 3,000 for one in box.
Let me check. I'm about to look at it right now.
I think though, if you're needing like cell medals, I think they're probably going to re-release the cell medals with the new birth driver that's happening.
Yeah, they are re-releasing the cell metal set. I still need to pick that up at some point. But
now the question is, will you get enough to fill up a tire milk crate? Just like that.
I don't know if they release the milk crate or the milk jug. I would.
Oh my god, I will go broke if they do that.
Just fill the whole thing.
Vaughn, imagine if they didn't have the birth driver X set. It was actually like the birth driver complete set, and it comes with. It would be more expensive than the
that means I have an excuse to buy a bomber jacket. And it means I have to go back, and that means I have to go hard at the gym as well if I can't have my abs just show up just wearing a bomber jacket. Be like, yeah, I'm Date.
Everybody has abs, Vaughn. They're just hidden.
I know.
But the when it comes to the Kogami Foundation, like finding out, like I think that when it came to Kogami, we kind of were just like, is he really doing this just for the sake of doing this, or like is he actually like what's his whole deal? And then like the fact that he actually kept hold of the original King Oz's medals was like surprising. And then just the fact that I guess he was trying to just replicate what his ancestor was doing, but in a more controlled environment, like not for the sake of chaos, just to understand like more about humans and their desires. So the fact that Aishi was the new host, it was like, hey, this is actually somebody who I know won't be corrupted by the power. I want to see what this guy can do.
Let's see what happens.
Speaking of desires, I just texted Sean this. Live shopping has occurred. I bought Siren Builder. I am done.
Now all you need is now all you need is a black and gold Daiboken.
Anyway, yeah. So I figured that tied into the whole desire thing very well. So do we have any more thoughts on O's, or do y'all want to roll into?
I mean, like we didn't really even cover. We barely covered the Kogami Foundation.
Yeah,
the two secondary riders.
Come on, Gabriel.
Yeah, we haven't done Date at all. Well, we did Date.
We only briefly talked about Date. So besides being a pretty
fantastic abs,
Date, like he combat medic. Yeah, at first like he's playing it off like, no, I just want to get paid. Like that's what he was kind of pushing forwards, like as why he was gathering the Sunhouse, and then you find out later it's because, hey, this guy's got a bullet in his head, and like he wants to get it out, and like that's the only way he can afford surgery is to do this, and like so it's still a selfish desire, but at the same time it's like
understandable, because
understandable, yeah. It's not like, well, if you think about it, the way that life flows. Hey, he is a medic. He can help save people. If he's gone, who's going to help save people? So, like, his desire still affects the people outside of him.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but just like the fact that the birth system, like it's a very interesting system. Powering off of cell metals, an easily disposable, power source compared to the core metals. Because basically, if all the greeds are gone, or if there's no way to reproduce the cell metals, birth is no longer here.
Mm-hmm.
In comparison to O's always having the abilities of the core metals, unless like purple metals shatter them. So it's just like when you think about Date though as a person, like he was not very standoffish, like as most like secondary riders were at that point. you know, he was friendly, but
He was
He did.
nice.
yeah, he did at times make it seem like, hey, me first, but you know, like then you find out his situation, like okay, that makes more sense now. But
Mm-hmm.
he was actively wanting to help out, you know, Eiji and like Goto, helping Goto grow is like part of what he was like unintentional, like or un. Well, if I'm saying like like he wasn't that was like his secret, like side mission. It's like, hey, I got to train up my successor, kind of deal.
Yeah, he pretty much adopted Goto just to help him have emotion because Goto was just like, and he said it. He was a hardened rock. He didn't have any emotions. So
That's him saying it too from episode 1000.
Yes. But like, I am a rock. What are you talking about? I am a rock. Okay. Head turns to a big rock. I'm like, okay, great, you're a rock.
But yeah, Date though good, very good secondary writer in terms of like combat strength knowledge. Definitely fit. Like he was also a good mentor character. Too,
there's something else I want to say also, and this is something that I know, like Link Carr, for example, brings up some with like because as we established here, Link Carr does History of Power Rangers, and he brought this up in his Lightspeed Rescue retrospective a couple of weeks ago, and he redid it. With O's in particular, it feels more natural that we're getting new powers introduced over the course of the show, mostly because they're finding more artifacts, and they're also collecting all the core medals from the Reap. And something else I can also appreciate is, if I recall correctly, weren't there times where AG couldn't use a certain full combo because, like, let's say Mezul stole back the shark medal?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you mean
that's something I can appreciate because I've said it before, I'll say it again. One of my biggest problems with current Rider is they just spam forms out of nowhere and it gets repetitive seeing the same suits every week. One of the strengths of O's in general is you can have a week where you see La Torata, and then you have a week where Zari steals back the Lion Medal, so it's Taka Torata, or Stug. That's one of the many things I love about O's, other than the music, the storylines, everything.
It's like technically the medals, well, except from Pluto Tira, like halfway through, all the medals were just out there. It's just a matter of which ones you had. To make the combos you wanted.
Plus, it also makes a fun game to see who has what. It's kind of like watching Survivor. When you're trying to figure out who has the Unity Idol.
That's my little thing at the ending. This is what Edgy has.
This is what he had, and this is what he has now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does Ryder still do that?
No, because there's no need to.
Revice does. Revice shows
it has a little chart.
He has a chart,
but it hasn't changed that much.
It's just basically just doing the stamps of, hey, look, we have this one now and this one now. Or at least with like the O's medals, they just like this is what. And I do still like from like 47, where like the board just became cell medals. He has all these cell medals now.
Yeah, because like it's that, like you mentioned, Gary. It was kind of like a race to who can get what they can get. So
who could become complete first?
Who become complete first? So that's why like they had all those different like just.
Something else I can also appreciate, this is just from like a toyetic perspective. I love how there are different ways you could collect the core medals. You get Gashapon, you get Candy Toy, you have the DX. Each one of them had their own quirks about them. Like the DX ones, right? The DX ones earlier, were all diecast.
You were shopping. I mentioned it earlier, Gary.
Well, you know what? I was too focused on finding the Siren Builder.
Okay, so
not like about a podcast or something.
Repeat lesson. DXs and CSM and Gashapon all have diecast rings. CSM and DX have the actual lines from the show on the back of them. Gashapon has only a singular line with stars, and then the Candy Toy has a plastic rim and a QR code on the back. There you go.
Fun fact:
Lesson
when
learned.
I went to New York Comic Con 2015, and there was a booth there called OTP that was selling Ranger keys and O
I love
medals.
OTP. They're so nice.
Yeah, but OTP doesn't do Tokyo anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, because they were at
They were cool.
No, they were. Was it Anime Expo or PMC where I saw them?
They might have been an Anime Expo, but they were at New York Comic Con, and I bought some stuff from them, and they were actually pretty cool people. They actually had a giant-sized Kuro, like the jumbo one that Bandai used to make, and I was going to buy it. I was like, how am I taking this home?
With your car.
Because then I took the train.
Well, sounds like you need to carry it on the train.
Oh, listen, I have a story I'll text you later, but
Okay.
no, but what I was going to say is O's is a very good series. There's a lot of good things about it. There's pretty much no negatives. And when we do talk about the movies, both of them, I'm excited to actually. I haven't watched the 10-year anniversary of this movie yet because the initial reactions were like, "This movie's horrible."
Yeah.
Here's the thing: people that reacted to the movie did not only watched it unsubbed, and they watched it and they pretty much skipped everything else, and pretty much was it like 30 minutes in and say like, "Oh, it's bad." I'm like, it just came out an hour ago. What do you mean it's bad already?
Like, it definitely could have used an extra half an hour, but it's nowhere near as bad. No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over some of the same kind of problem that, like, for as much as I love Forever Red, it should have been a two-parter.
Yeah, it didn't have. It should have gone on, like, which is weird because it's the movie. They should have gone. I don't know if it was just pandemic issues or just what, but it could have used an extra half an hour.
The emotional stakes were rushed. Essentially.
Yeah,
It's the main
My-
issue of it. Like, I get where they were coming from with it, but yeah, it just needed more time.
yeah.
One thing I'll
It's
say
also
about
one of-
my, like I say,
It's
my
also
favorite
one
part
of
of the movie.
Oh, go ahead.
Gary,
Like I said, my favorite part of the movie is the original King's back. How did he come back?
There's a simple explanation for that.
Even the stage show gave a reason why the king was back.
Reggie, is that a custom?
it is a custom. I made the robe myself.
I like it actually quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a little hoodie too, because like it was the Ganmiser hood, but
Yeah,
it's like
which is funny because that's where they got the hood from in the show.
so. And there is wiring in the robe too, so
Nice.
I can move around. But yeah, like I mean, they're bound to make him. It's an
Yeah,
easy repaint.
It's,
It's the cloth portion that they're gonna have to worry about, but yeah, it's like the whole thing with the King O's coming back, like that was interesting to see. This is just a spoiler for everybody watching. I wish he was the main villain.
Yes.
I wish he was the main villain. That's just the big thing. It's like you make a big deal about like after 800 years he's back.
And I wish the Greed were in there longer.
Yeah, the Greed had to be there longer. Like there's not enough. The thing though, guys, if you are watching, there is going to be the Birth X special, which we found out is an AR World situation in the middle of the movie too.
In the middle of the movie,
experimenting with the Birth X, the Birth X unit. Goto's transported to an alternate world where Hina is O's. The Greed are fighting each other to become her partner character. Onk is the villain as Dr. Monkey. I'm guessing Eiji Kyoko-san is the situation because he's dressed up as a pirate outfit for whatever reason.
It sounds like they have a new CSM birth driver they really want to release.
I know they're going to start having those pre-orders as soon as that episode is out.
Yeah,
I know they're going to be doing that.
That's exactly what's going to happen with that Veil driver. As soon as the last episode is, here it is.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you like this $130 driver? You want to buy it again?
Do you want the Kabuto and the other Beetle fight stamps? Well, congratulations, P Bandai.
whoa, at this price. But yeah,
So
like
I just remembered we also have questions to answer too. Just saying.
yeah, we do.
Yes, we do.
We didn't kind of well, very briefly. We'll at least talk about the Oh It's a Wonderful movie because that is the movie within the series. They're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good.
The final sequence. I mean, I wish it was more than just finishers, but the fact that we got to see all the O's combos at that point, all the main combos at that point was, and like that's where you put into the idea of like how is Eiji on the power scale of writers. Like if he gets his hands on Katakuriba and he has the other medals,
No, he's OP as hell.
He's literally a one-man army.
Yes, he can make himself into a whole damn army.
And
if he gets his hands on the lost medals too, then you have those combos to deal with.
Super Tachaba.
Super Tataba ignores the rules of space-time.
Tajidor Eternity. Bad shit crazy.
Probably like we don't, that's the thing is that we don't to see Tajidor Eternity's like full power, but we do know that it's the formation of the bond of Eiji and Ankh. So, like I guess it depends on like what the combination of their desire, how powerful that can be. So
all the CSM medals.
Yeah.
That's like 4 more, right? 4 more forms.
It's like 5 or 6 more actually.
Oh, yeah.
You can do Damashi form.
Tamashi, yeah. Spirit of all the writers. Who has a Kamehameha?
Purple Eyes Tataba.
Purple Eyes Tataba. That's on the shelf. Like it's Eiji has, well, that's another thing. Like O's stands for, not just O, that's over infinity. That's essentially what the 3 O's is meant to represent. And like, the kings, O's, kings. King of over infinity, if you wanted to put it like that. So that's why like Eiji is also, like I said, like, well, for another reason why Eiji is one of my favorite writers is because his power scaling him is a little bit more difficult than it is to the other characters. I mean, like, of course you have Kuga with the like world destroying punches / kicks. So yeah. I would say that Eiji is definitely like one of the top of the Heisei writer in terms of power. If we're excluding Omagio, who is like pretty much.
Like also the fact that it was like is a concept as we've established this in the in the 10th anniversary movie that they can make more cell medals or cell core medals like they did, so they could just keep making more until and keep making
it's he has a lot of potential. He has infinite potential. Sorry, Tinky Hitaku, that's you don't get that that benefit. But yeah, I mean, like, well, I guess she's too mysterious enough that we can't really talk about Satonaka-chan. We just know that she is just very, very badass. And even though she put her hair in that weird pompadour look for the final episode, the backflips, the kicks, damn. Yeah, Gary, we mentioned. Well, we can move on to the question segment of the episode. Okay, yeah. These are from various viewers and or friends of ours. So you want to start it off, Gary?
Yep. I'm going to start from the bottom. And I'm going to start from the bottom. Now we'll be here. Favorite non-series form. So this is from Steve F, aka Hit People Guy. Okay. Final form with the smiling face emoji. But seriously, favorite non-series forms from the forms they released after the TV show. I have no comment. I have no opinion on this because I forgot most of them. But by all means, have at it.
Final form are monsters that were released after the series.
I think my final form is on Tajidor Eternity.
I think that would.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Yes.
Show wise, it's debatable because, like, you have to debate: is it like the final form he obtains, or is it the final form he uses in the show? And then like after that, we kind of blur the waters because then we got Super Tataba, and then now we have Tajidor Eternity.
And so you have love.
Yeah. That reminds me. I'm surprised they didn't make like love combo medals.
I was just thinking about that right now. I'm like, why we don't have those?
I mean, it's all gonna be just three
Yeah.
hearts, but hey, it's still gonna make the sound. It's gonna be funny. But yeah, in terms of the non-series forms, I think just because we got a little exposure of it in Memory of Heroes, Wichikiri, like the poison or the poison insect combo, essentially. You know we got to see. Well, this is brief spoiler, like super versions of it, thanks to Goda. But yeah, I think it's just because of the combination of the centipede, bee, and ants. Like it actually kind of worked out really well. And I like the idea of it in Memory of Heroes. If you guys should definitely play the game. You get it at PS4 or on Nintendo Switch. You have to order from elsewhere though. Play Asia. I know Gary's in around.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a fun game because like it also kind of gives you that little bit of
Amazon too.
Amazon too. It gives you that little brief, after story for AG before we got the 10th anniversary movie. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Next comes
they
to
don't have
us.
the same actors, but it's a good game.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest complaints with just like the movie with the games and stuff too. I understand like you can't get Phillips actor anymore because he's too high to the writer. Masaki Suda, and you can't get Ren Kiriyama because he's very important now. But you couldn't get Shu Watanabe, the man who literally said he will come back anytime they need him to play AG.
His voice actor for the game didn't do that bad though. Like,
yeah, but we also know who the voice actor for his game.
So,
yeah.
All right. So moving on to the next question from Tokyo_Custom on Twitter. Favorite O's form suit design? I think we already said that earlier. Sugozo, honestly. Utotera.
Tachidor.
Yeah, mine was
even the original Tachidor works out.
Any form of Tachidor.
And plus, Tachidor is the all powerful favorite form. So
yeah, everybody's top tier.
All right, moving on from there. From Y_S at MXZZ What are each of your quote unquote how it should have ended comedic and or serious for O's? What are some special movies you wish Toei could have released? What was your least favorite aspect of the series?
The first question, let's go off that one. So the how it should have ended. Where's my fucking happy ending?
Honestly,
teased in the trailer for the 10th anniversary. Welcome back, Ong. And it's a spoiler for everybody here. It's not fucking Eiji saying it.
Yeah, welcome back. Depression lies between you.
Ron Burgundy gif of being I'm a glass case of emotion. But yes, I would. I guess that answer actually answers the last question. What's your least favorite aspect of the series? Is that like where is the happy ending? You give hope in almost every single special up until the 10th anniversary.
Yes.
And
emotional damage all the time.
I mean, that's
emotional damage. It's just. But how it should have ended comedic. If we want to do a comedic thing.
I'm still waiting on my buddy cop movie featuring Goto and Date.
You know what? If it ended comedically, I will have to say if they pulled a Right Time Ryuki.
Where there's oh.
You know what I'm talking about. That'd be the comedic version.
I actually don't because I haven't watched it.
Oh.
You have the floor.
So in Right Time Ryuki, two characters, Raya and Guy, of course they all came back. They you pretty much see sex. They have sex with each other. And that was the first part of Ride Time Ryuki.
That's how it began.
Then you find out he kind of manipulated the events, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of horrific to think about.
And guess who wrote this? And guess who wrote that special? Inoue.
Wait.
Sounds
So
right.
Inoue, who's currently writing Dawn Brothers.
Yes, and the same one that also wrote Decade versus Geo and Geo versus Decade.
So
What do you have against
I have
initiated characters?
I do have a question as my mind's still processing this.
Sure.
Was Rider Time Ryuki Toshiki Inoue's first writing credit for writers in years, right? Is that what happened?
I think he wrote a few things. I think he wrote like a few small things before then. But there was pretty much was that our first TTFC for I think it was our first TTFC for Geo. So yeah, and he wanted to push the envelope. So Inoue likes writing stuff. So he had to do what he got to do, and he did what he had to do. Because we had that, and then in the Geo for this Decade special, we saw somebody's arm getting ripped off. And blood.
So essentially, they pulled a Shin Kamen Rider. Okay.
Yes.
I'm back.
Shin
Then
Kamen Rider
the last
Prologue.
question.
That's Shin Kamen Rider.
Oh.
You gotta
And then
specify.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, we're gonna talk about that in the news portion. Final question from my buddy Spin Dash, aka Spin Dash 54, aka Greg. Favorite individual piece of O's? I think Got's head for the electric attack, Tora body for claws, etc., etc.
Condor legs.
Saigozo arms. Rockets.
Gorilla arms.
Peacock chest, because then I can fly.
No.
Yes. That's smart. That's a good one.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because Peacock does give you the wings. Like it's the combo power is the spinner and the feather missiles.
I didn't he have the spinner? Else when he had remember he.
Oh no, he had the spinner as with Kajaku. You're right. So the combo power essentially is just the feather missiles, the fire and the feather missiles. Okay. Yeah, O's best writer show. Gary might debate, but always has a big piece of our hearts.
Yeah, and wallets.
And wallets.
Yes, because I'm buying everything goes. I have to go back and buy the Shouta figure arts.
Anything goes.
Okay.
And also get the birth driver.
Moving on to the news, I will be sharing my screen, so you have to put up with screenception for 2 minutes, and I apologize. Oh wait, I can't. Never mind, and I'm not restarting. So
yes, it is.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just talk about the news, and then we'll just discuss it as a group. Because I have like 10 tabs open right now for news.
It won't let you share screen?
It says it lost permission. You know what? Then I probably have to come back. You know what? One second. Let me enable this again on my stupid screen because reasons. Go system preferences on the screen by clicking lock. So talk amongst yourselves. When I leave, talk amongst yourselves. The usual.
I guess fun, like we mentioned earlier. Goes, I definitely hope they do get figure arts. I mean, I'm glad that they got those little Soto representations, but I need a 1/12 scale.
Yeah, I need a figure arts, and plus we definitely deserve an Eiji figure art for all that he did.
We need to. I'm surprised that we didn't get one announced yet. Like
Yeah.
I thought they would have been like alongside the Tajidor Eternity
Mhm.
announcement, but why?
Yeah.
It's just like I just yeah, I just need him to go long funk. I just need him to go long funk. That's just the main thing.
Yeah, because you need. Oh, and they could have done a Hino one for you have them holding hands.
Oh
Yeah.
Singing them all together.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how things go. I mean, you never know with O's.
Yeah,
Like, the
'cause
fact that
we haven't gotten a ride vendor yet, like a new version.
an actual ride vendor. Okay, so yeah, the Legend Henshin belt collection, has come out with the Typhoon, the Arkle. Then the next wave was the Fies belt and the Force driver. Now we're getting the Yuki buckle, the Henshin buckle, the V buckle that's the word I was looking for, as well as the Kabuto Zector, if I recall correctly. The V buckle is cool because it also comes with Knight's deck. I'm not sure if it's actually like it looks like you could keep a card in there, but I'm not sure if it's just a tampograph sticker on it or not.
See, one of my dreams is to get a 3D printer and make a deck box like this. We use it for Vanguard. I think that'd be kind of cool. But speaking on
I got my friend into Kamen Rider through Night because he loves Batman, and I was like, "Hey, Japanese Batman." He was like, "What?"
He legit is Japanese Batman, especially in real life.
Yeah. And then the Kabuto Zector.
I actually owned this.
I need the CSM. I really do need the CSM.
So this was at so fun fact. This was the first item I ever bought out of Japan.
The Kabuto Zector?
Yeah, and I actually had to get belt extensions for it, and I wasn't home, so I had to go to my local post office. Whoa. Mr. S kindly included a little pamphlet for Gokaiger in it.
Border kick.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so these are cool. Yeah. I used to own the Kabuto one. It's worth it for the size, and if you don't want to spend like $400 on the DX with CSM, then grab this.
Nice bet for $40.
Yeah, $40 is not bad. I mean, it is an increase, though, as we saw. Like the previous Legend Henshin belt releases were $35. So seeing it at 40. Oh yeah, you can get it like because the lucky thing now is that a lot of these smaller gimmick belts or one-time belts, they're coming out in the US as well as Japan. So Japan prices would be like the Japan price you see here on Total Collectibles, really good shop, by the way. They also include the shipping portion, so that's why those come out to like $30 more or $20 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming out, as you can see there, August in the US, and then it comes out next month in Japan.
Moving on from
depending on your
there,
preference order at that point.
I have not watched the trailer yet, and because I don't want the channel to be taken down by Toei, I don't want to play it. But
the teaser trailer for Shin Kamen Rider has been shown.
Whew.
So.
Shin Kamen Rider, I cannot wait, man.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
But we got to wait a whole year.
Yeah, man.
I still love the fact that they just recreated the opening, just released that just randomly, and it looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Like, we're wondering, like a lot of people are wondering if it's gonna have a international release. So, like,
I hope it for Shin Ultraman because I've been hearing good things about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've seen.
Am I the only one here? I think Sean and I watched it together, if I recall correctly. Am I the only one who watched Shin Godzilla?
I haven't.
Yeah, Shin Godzilla is very good. From what I've seen, Shin Ultraman looks really good too. So I have high hopes for this.
Shin Godzilla was like being on an acid trip. But yeah, this looks good. Comes out next year. I'm gonna watch it because
who would it be?
Also,
Godzilla or Long Arm Ultraman?
Long arms, he can reach. We can slap.
This wasn't on the Token front page, but I also did want to mention. I think Futo PI premieres like in July, on Crunchyroll, and I'm going to be watching it because I want to talk about the show, obviously.
It's coming out in August. Yeah, August.
Yeah.
It is
Well,
on
I'll talk about
Crunchyroll.
it
Yeah,
for a
it's going to be in August. As far as this goes, look forward to Shin Go Ranger after. I don't know.
That would actually
Can you
be
imagine?
pretty awesome if they did that.
Yes, I cannot.
I'm
I will wait.
saving that one for last. Speaking of O's, let's talk about this beautiful
Oh
thing.
yeah, the birthday special that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
this is the thing.
one acid trip. It sounds like it's an acid trip.
I want that suit.
Yeah, and then
Poster
after,
looks good.
and then after that, you'll be able to pre-order the Birth Driver if
wait.
that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have not yet gotten the actual release information yet.
Mm-hmm. And you know what
Yeah.
sucks too? Because they're probably going to announce both a figure arts for both Birth and Birth X.
Yes.
I am looking forward to that.
Get
Now the
ready.
question-
Get ready, Reggie.
My good buddy
Now
J-Man 14, like he's been waiting for a Shinkocho Seiho birth for like months. Like my original dioramas where I did like little paintings and stuff like that, I actually drew birth and then put a question mark right next to it.
I love when Jamie talks to you and ignores me, even though I'm supposed to be his son. Thanks, Josh. Love you. Miss you.
No, I said J-Mad 14, not J-Man.
Yeah, that's Josh.
No, J-Mad 14.
Oh.
Not J-Man. Gary.
Sorry, Josh. Love you still. Sorry. Hey, it's been a
Look forward to
week. Okay.
Look forward to the new birth, cross birth, and they'll probably make a proto birth.
Oh, yes.
Unless they do
You
it.
want my wallet to die again?
Yeah.
With Goto and Date heads.
Oh,
I
if they
hate
could do
both of
that.
you
That'd be
right.
awesome.
Okay. So moving on from there, they announced. It's not on the Token Nation front page again, but oh wait, here's the Futo. I'm an idiot. August 1st,
Yes, right there.
service. There we go.
It's-
I'm an idiot.
The voices of them are the people who played them in memory, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're getting music from the original singers as well as music from Eternal and Skull. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be good music.
I'm excited. Okay. Moving on from there, for the three people who collect Lightning Collection, hi, how you doing?
I'll be honest with you. I'm actually excited for this one.
Oh yeah.
Thankfully, it has the correct color stripes, so that's nice.
Correct amount of stripes. It does.
And look, it has a holster.
Blue boots.
What insanity is this?
It looks really cool.
I just need to see the head sculpt. I need to see how they're gonna do Max's afro.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yeah, because Max had a short afro back in Wild Force. So I have to see how they're doing that.
Okay.
And also see how they're going to do Damon as well, because that's going to be in the same wave.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's one of the three teams I want to. He's probably one of the three teams I actually want to complete. So I'm all excited for that.
Yeah, that was for those who didn't know. Like one of the people in the community, Colonel Adam, like he created the hashtag. It went viral, and then the PR account actually revealed this. So that was like Adam, dude. Shout out to you, man. You made this happen. Like this is like it's incredible for a fan to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Put on the shipments because
that was great.
The majority of the time, we like as fans of collecting these kind of things, we sometimes feel ignored. But yeah, it's just like
moving on from there. I mean, here's the thing. It's hard for me to get excited about Lightning Collection
because your thought's going to be what's the issue going to be this time.
Yes, and I said it before in private talks, and I've said I'll say it again. I own 3 Lightning Collection figures: Deckmaster, Bull Black, and Phantom Ranger because I forgot to cancel the pre-order. I want the Ninja Rangers because those are my favorite. Some of my favorite PR designs of all time, and I'm just like I can't bring myself enough to care.
The Ninja Rangers have had their issues with paint jobs.
Yeah.
And
especially white one.
shout out to my friend Fee Filling Toku. He actually did find blue and black today. Unfortunately, I think I sent the wrong state to Power Ranger when they made the announcement. So it's actually in Oklahoma for those watching, not Ohio.
Oh.
But yeah, so Billy and Adam are now available in stores for looks of things. So everybody pay attention. Adam is probably going to be the one Ninja Ranger I actually will go after because hell yeah, I love Johnny Young Bosch. Adam was my childhood favorite Ranger. Actually, just I like Zach and Adam, so it's like
if I can find ones that have decent paint jobs, I'll grab them. But I'm not going out of my way to do it.
I heard. I just heard that blue and black have decent paint jobs, so it was just the white one that had a lot.
Some of them have also been having the wrong number of fists. Like one of them, I actually saw in the Target because my Target had 6 of them just there. It's like, okay. One of them did have 2 right fists. It's like, really? But they all have the heads. I mean, if I cared about these, I probably would get them, but
yeah, I got the Ninja ones because I didn't care about them. I didn't care about the metallic Ranger ones, so these are the ones I wanted. I might go back and get Aisha though because it's Aisha.
Yeah, that's fair.
The only way I'm technically completing MMPR Lightning Collection set is the TMNT figures. Yeah.
Shredder's Battles.
Okay. And now we move on to the thing that I'm going to use another F-bomb credit for, and I'm sorry, Reggie.
Gary,
fuck you, Sean.
Might as well take an absence from the show at this point. I mean, I used 2 today, but.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I want to preface this by saying the following. I say that out of love. Let me explain. I got a text from him saying, "Hey, they revealed Don only Taijin." Okay, and I don't know why the picture isn't loading. But you get the gist. And he's like, "Okay, I'm pre-ordering." I'm like, "Okay, I have no interest." What was it, Sean? Like a day or 2 later, I text you. I'm like, "Yeah, I pre-ordered it."
Yeah, because like I don't know if if it's in here, but they showed like a size comparison. It was like Don Zenkai compared to it, and it's like twice its size.
It is legit the size of Zenroku Zenkaio.
Yes, and I have that. It's like it's a big boy. So this the fact that the size of it and the fact that it's like the first articulated DX mecha ever. It looks really good. Like yeah, I'm really excited for it.
And it has sold out, which is good.
Yeah. And the thing is, the advertising for this thing, it's been like it started like a month in advance. Like it was already in last week's Don Brothers opening, and it's not out till not even next weekend, like 2 weeks from now. So they're really like pushing this thing, and it seems like it's paying off.
It's a very interesting design too, and
yeah,
gorgeous.
I love the fact that the red sunglasses become like just like part of the helmet.
I'm glad too they're taking the time to get ready for this because in next month we're about to get the 6th Ranger. So
Oh, son of a.
And I think his mecha was the same price as this.
Yep, it's the same price.
So it's probably going to be just as big.
And they will
combine with each other here.
God help us if it combines in the
one. It will combine the one that has been confirmed.
I need a room. I need a room like now.
I had to make room for a reason.
Good thing I'm putting all my Ryu Soldier mecha in storage tomorrow.
That's why I saw my Kira Major stuff. I'm like, yep, something's better coming out. I'm sorry. I love you, Kira Major. I love the show, but there's a better mech coming out.
Like that's Like that's how I feel with the Ryu Soldier mecha. Honestly, what I might do is I might just keep the Ryu Souls on one of my shelves and just put the mecha into my closet.
Oh, speaking of Kira Major, I think that's a piece of news I don't think you know about, Gary, but there is
Yeah.
going to be the Memorial Edition Pyramid Changer. It does come with, it looks like it has a silver paint job instead of chrome. It will have voice lines from the characters, and it also comes with Drew's little sketchbook with some of his sketches.
And it's 140.
Let me, I think I have the details from it. Hold on.
It's like 200
Yeah.
voice sounds.
Yeah, 200 voices, like
Opening
background
and-
music,
Mhm.
Yeah,
like the standard
silver,
Memorial stuff.
about 130, 140. If
Okay.
you order it for
Like-
collectibles. And then we also got the Helheim Lockseed set.
Yeah.
Comes with, the Lockseed gold and silver, which have also painted paint jobs instead of chrome like they originally had.
Mhm.
The Lockseed Dark, 15 and Maja's Lockseeds. Maja being the suit from the stage show, as well as the Helheim Lockseed used by Sylphie from the Greedon and Bravo special. So the one that actually looks like the Helheim fruit. And it comes with all his faceplates. Comes out to about 165 USD. It is coming stateside. Team Rider already confirmed. And then later on this month, we should get more information about the Memorial Geertlinger.
I kind of. Well, I know they're not. Here's the thing. I don't probably am not going to get sent to you. I'm getting these, but these work. So I kind of want it, depending on what it does or what it comes with.
I'm 100% getting it. I'm gonna be selling my Gear Tingler soon. I am definitely getting the Memorial Edition Gear Tingler. I mean, the Team Tingler. That's what I call it, the Team Tingler.
Depending, Vaughn, on the situation, I may hit you up for that because I don't know how I would handle Memorial. I mean, like, I'm glad they're not making Memorial of this thing.
Okay, I will let you know, and it might be coming with all 5 medals.
I would only need 3 of them because I do have Vroon and I did get Vroon and Majin from Adam.
Okay.
I can't wait for this time next year when this gets a Memorial.
Oh
my god! And I will definitely have to get that because
I already told myself I'm getting it. I'm already told myself if this gets a Memorial, I'm getting it.
Yeah, if it plays it's gonna play the theme song and the ending. I have to get it. To get it.
Like the fact that this thing, I mean, at least from Gokai Dramas, that it has like the actual chain noises, and the fact that the sword, which is in my room, for Gokai Dramas, can make like actual noise in the show. It just really helps.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah, but yeah.
But if they don't do that, what if they do a Memorial Edition Zonglass sword?
Stop.
Hopefully,
Memorial.
There's a Russo-kin that can, and Zonglass sword is very, very popular right now. They might do it. I'm just saying.
Anyway, so what I was gonna say is movie. So that was the last bit of token news I had. There's a couple other main Steel Transformers things, and then one time I'm blaming Sean for one of these, and then I'm blaming Gokai for these two. So I'm trying to move them as quick as possible.
Okay.
Their personal note for myself and anyone else going to TFCon Chicago. I'm very excited for this. David K is going to be there. If you ever see Transformers, Beast Wars Megatron, Beast Machines Megatron, and then Megatron in the Unicron trilogy, Animated Prime, or as I know him, and Carl and Rob also know him, the Ancient One from Ronin Warriors, one of my all-time favorite anime, and I'm going to get him to sign my copy of the Blu-ray. So this will be fun. I bought my ticket. I'm being a corporate show, and I'm spending more money than I should, but I don't care. It's pretty much a once in a lifetime event that I'm going to be able to go. So, yeah.
He's having David K sign his Ronin Warriors Blu-rays.
To be fair, I could also hunt down another Megatron. That shouldn't be too hard. You're giving me horrible ideas. Go away.
No.
Yes, Gary. find one of the Megatrons. It's your destiny.
Yes.
Oh, the
This,
retro stuff.
I figure I'll bring this up too. So as per tradition, Hasbro's like, hey, we're just gonna like repaint and retool a bunch of figures into like into a special capsule for Amazon.
Boneless.
We already have our first look at Bulkhead. He looks mediocre at best. The one I'm very excited for, because I missed out on getting him for the first time, is Springer. Yeah.
Last purchase, May 11. Like, I thought you were gonna pull up like the news portion, but you're just on the Amazon page to show when you last bought it.
I need to show you what happens. I get a text message saying, "Hey, you need this." I'm like, "I don't." 5 minutes later, I bought it.
Because we have in this Wreck and Roll collection, it's just like the Golden Disc collection that came out for only these claim that they have a combinable piece for a hammer. A lot of people are saying it's like cardboard instead of being plastic, but we'll see how that goes. The Wreck and Roll collection has 5 different pieces to it.
Is it converted to cardboard?
It's rumored. I'm not sure if Twin Twist.
There's a picture of it, and it looks cardboard. Like it looks like
that's disappointing as hell.
Yeah, especially since they said like this big thing, like it's together. It's like a Build-A-Figure, and it's just like I can print this. We'll say the box when you put all 5 of the box together, it does make it look like that very nice artwork.
Yeah, it does have really nice artwork. So of course we had Springer. The first one that was revealed was Impactor and Spindle. Spindle being a retool of Paleotrex as a Spinosaur. It's in Impactor colors, but hey, it's a new dinosaur. It's technically a new dinosaur, so I'm getting that. We had Leadfoot and Master Dominus, which is a Mastodon recreation of Ractonite, which looks like it's a fossilized version of the Mastodon Megazord. So I'm just like, yes, please give me that one.
He looks so good, and he has no right to looking that good.
Show the mammoth form. It's the Mastodon form. Sure. It's the third picture.
Sheesh. I'm not even Transformer dude, but damn.
Yeah, look it. Doesn't that look like a fossilized version of the Mastodon Megazord?
Yeah, it does. God damn.
And I think sadly, as far as fossilized goes, we don't have a saber tooth.
Yeah, otherwise we're still missing a saber tooth. Saber tooth was on the original concept art of Kingdom, but they never released one. So hopefully Legacy though does. I mean, we're getting Tarantulas in one of the waves. Inferno was shown off on the Metroplex box, so it's pretty much confirmed that Inferno's going to come out too.
That Tarantulas looked amazing, and I need it now.
By the way, one thing I did forget to mention, I pre-ordered. I pre-ordered Motormaster, and I pre-ordered Wild Rider, and I got Drag Strip.
You're building Menasor.
I'm building Menasor, and I'm not blaming Sean or Ron for this. This is my own fault.
Because Yvonne, you said you're not a Transformers guy, but this is like probably what the third, fourth version of a Menasor that's come out in the past 5-6 years.
Except like this one's probably going to be like the best one,
the biggest and best one. Because
okay,
we have Leadfoot.
I get this one too.
That looks nice.
Oh yeah.
And then of course we got the single packs, which I call the boneless wreckers, because no fossilizer. So we've got. As Gary mentioned, Springer, which is more based off the toy colors and does have the Wrecker symbol instead of the Autobot symbol on his chest. We've got Bulkhead, which has a camo deco. People were actually hoping that Bulkhead would be retooled to be Roadbuster, who is actual known member of the Wreckers, but instead they just have it still be Bulkhead. And then repainted version of Twin Twist. So it's just like, the first 2 reveals, and then the last 3 were just
kind of keep it off.
So I mean, with the confirmation that I don't know if Gary can pull up the picture of the hammer, but if he can,
I don't think I can. If anything, I'll find it on Twitter and I'll just retweet it.
Yeah, okay. Because then that confirms I'm pretty sure people are really only going to go for the the first two and maybe Springer. Because
See,
it's
if I
disappointing.
if I cared more about the Legacy Bulkhead, I would actually grab that, but I don't like the mold at all.
I bought it for $11.
It does look kind of cool.
Isn't that? I think someone pointed out the bulkhead. Isn't that Knockout's hammer?
Not Knockout Breakdown, but yeah, technically.
Yeah.
So you're saying I can get rid of the arms micron on mine? Oh my, Vaughn, are they okay over there?
My roommate's playing what are you playing? Some game. Binding with Isaac. Binding with Isaac. You playing Binding with Isaac. That's what you
Binding with Isaac.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's raging.
So that's everything. We also have, and this is something that I would buy, but I don't want to spend 170 on it.
It's a really cool, though. You gotta admit.
It's so cool, but it's so money.
Is that the Lego set?
Yes. It actually transforms.
Vaughn, I think you need to buy it.
No, I'm not gonna buy it. I can't stand Lego, so I can't.
It's like 1,500 pieces.
Build 4.
Yeah, that's a no for me. I'm good.
But it comes.
I'm gonna put it on the Christmas list. I'm gonna put it on my Christmas list. I'll just say that.
Comes with the Ion Blaster, Energon Axe, Jetpack, Energon Cube, and Matrix of Leadership.
It comes with the X, as is tradition.
Building is the right of every sentient being.
See, here's the thing. I already have enough problems trying to get things into my apartment and building them. This, I would love to own.
You can sneak it in there.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
You know my life. I can't.
You just gotta be more creative like me.
This is cool. I'd buy it if I could. Obviously, I don't have the room for it. Where's my Megazord Lego? Come on.
So,
Give us Voltron. Where's the Megazord?
All right, moving on from there. Sean, this is your fault.
That's my fault.
This.
Oh, yeah, that. To be fair, it'd probably be like the best site ever overall.
That site is my favorite Gundam. I do not need to get into Meta Build, Gary. I do not need to get into Meta Build.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
Reggie, it's only $240, and you can do a PayPal paying for it.
It's only. See, like, that's when I would never buy, like, those super expensive ones, because, like, I would screw something up.
Reggie, don't do it, because we got Birth Driver coming out, so don't do it.
Not to be dramatic, but I want to die. This bitch.
Look at this. Look at this.
It is beautiful.
Pretty and nice. And pretty and nice. I'm an asshole.
Pretty nice. I would definitely.
So this is out. When's it out?
I'll just print out the picture. Just put it on my wall.
18,150 yen with an October 22 release date. I can't swing that because I'm gonna be in. That's TFCon money that I need. Also, buy all of these awesome Blu-rays at Right Stuff Anime, including G Gundam and Gundam Wing is best anime. Anyway, and then I'm blaming my friend Gokai for this. Anybody who grew up with Toonami?
You know,
I even see that. Why is it $105? It's a book.
But switch to the USA. Let's see how much that costs.
Switch to.
Because that was the Japan release. Because
$98.
Only changed by like $7.
I mean,
I'm gonna be honest.
To be fair, I got
Tori
the Philip book, and it had it's like the Philip book, has literally nothing in it except for probably writing on one page, and it was like not that much, but it was still like an empty book. So,
do me a favor, Gary. Go to the other images so I can see the text.
At least this has text in it.
Yeah,
it's anime accurate.
So it's literally just a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They want $90 for just a book for
And
a cosplay.
And it's a nice display too because they just announced the figure arts for those.
Right there.
That-
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, that happened too.
I want
I can't
it.
believe we live in a world where this happens.
You know what? I'm not even the biggest Zatch Bell fan anymore, and even I want this. This is
I mean,
so
if you go to,
cool.
I mean, oh, never mind, it's sold out. I was gonna say if you wanted to, CD Japan had it for like $59.21, but I guess it's sold out already.
HOJ had it when I woke up randomly. I'm like, oh shit. You're like, yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, there you go. This is a nice little display.
Speaking of figure arts, our last news item.
Which figure is this? Oh,
Zatch
yeah.
Bell.
He comes with Vulcan 3000.
This just really came out of nowhere. And yeah.
Hey, y'all like nostalgia?
Yeah, cause I woke up finding out that was on HOJ. I'm like, wait, they not something Zatch Bell related?
I'm hoping if these sell well enough, we'll get Brago and Sherry.
It is nice to see anime figure arts look like this better than when they first started off.
Yeah.
I remember the One Piece ones.
Do you remember the early Dragon Ball ones?
And now look at them; they sell them at Target.
Yeah. I went to Target and I found figure arts Rose and like what?
I'm sorry. I always with the day.
Very catch my heart, very melon.
Yeah, cause at first Zatch Bell ones did sell out on HOJ, but they brought them back. So I think they got another order for the Zatch Bell ones for the figure arts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also announced today in terms of anime. Well, here, Gary, say your piece.
Before we end the news segment, I will say this: there's a very obvious repaint they could do of this. Xeno. If we do not get a Marco Fulgore and Conchome, I will cry. Especially if it comes with his giant cannon form. Anyway, that's it for the news. Brought to you by Token Nation, TFW 2005, and Tokoloctables.
And there's another little piece, but this is for more modern anime fans. I mean, there's been a recent spike in a certain series that it's very popular primarily because of the animation style is amazing. The main character, Vaughn, I think you might know what I'm talking about for this. Maybe, I don't know, but I mean, I drew a character off of it yesterday, but basically this also got announced. This is it's kind of weird because hey, this anime started, but apparently it's popular enough that it's getting figure arts as well.
Spy Family.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we're little Anya. Anya's here.
That's happening too. I forgot.
I can't wait. I love this anime. I've read the manga already, so I kind of know what's happening. But this is just a very fun show, and I
imagine how many faces she's gonna have.
I just need her to have her shocked face and her smug smile.
Yes,
that's coming in the next episode.
This is the manga, right?
No, this is the anime. The anime started a few weeks ago.
Yeah, the anime's on Hulu, which I need to watch.
Oh, it's on Hulu, even better. I don't have to use Crunchyroll.
It's on Crunchyroll too. Yeah. Hulu, Crunchyroll. You got a couple options there.
So as you can see here, they have kind of the release schedule already. Anya's coming out in October, Lloyd is coming in November, and yours coming December. So I am excited for this. I have ideas. It's gonna be a fun time. I mean, you guys know me. I'm a photographer, so I like taking pictures of things. So that's why I'm excited for that set. And I love their little family dynamic.
There was one other thing I want to bring up before we close out the show, and it has to do with the fact that it's Star Wars month. Obi-Wan Kenobi's out in 13 days, and I saw that trailer, and my reaction was when I heard Duel of the Fates, I cried.
And for those who play Fortnite, there's more like it could be a skin release on that same day too. As in, it's happening.
I think I got a few now. I got a few announcements.
Go for it.
So, if you love tokusatsu, if you love anime, if you love Ultraman related action, or if you love the old show Gridman, SSS Dynazenon, the Blu-ray, will be released next Tuesday. So, if you want it, buy it now because I have it pre-ordered, and yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's a very good show. I
have the model kit.
Actually, speaking of Ultraman, there is another piece of news, Fawn. I think you might be more familiar with it. I saw that there's going to be some English voice actors for an Ultraman project.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So for the Absolute Conspiracy, they're bringing back an old Ultraman anime called Ultraman USA. So pretty much they're going to be having live action shoots in this show, in this special. And 3 of the voice actors for the English dub is going to be pretty much people that we recognize. So for, I believe it's Ultraman Chuck. Was it Chuck? It's from one to do Ultramans. One of them was is Shawn Nichols. If you know him from like the Ultraman live streams, he also played Shawn in Ultraman Max, so he's going to be part of it. Next is the female Ultra woman. She's played by Gal, who you may know from who was Georgie in Ultraman Gaia. She's going to be voicing the character, and as well as another character played by Dante Carver, also known as DC's son from if you watch pretty much watch Akasan's YouTube videos, but also he played the character in Mega Max, the movie. So one of my all-time favorites. So he was the only black guy in that movie. So you definitely know who he is. So yeah. Oh wait, I forgot. We also got Robert Baldwin from who played Ramirez from Kyuger. He's voicing the Ultraman, and then also Hilltop. And also Hilltop from LVP. He's gonna be voicing the Ultraman as well.
Nice. Yeah, we've been going on. It's almost been 2 hours and 30 minutes. So,
Vaughn, where can they find you on the internet, my friend?
Yes, so you can find me on Twitter at Mr. Cooper92. You can find me on YouTube at Mr. Cooper92 as well. YouTube videos, yes, no, maybe. I'm putting stuff out there. You can find me on TikTok at Mr. Cooper992 because somebody already has 92 for some weird reason. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Sean, where can they find you and your inconsistent ramblings about life and the meaning of prosperity and the number 42?
They can find me at Chenix. At Chenix737. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. For me, twitter.com/GPX93. I live there. I have a YouTube channel as well. I have other places on the internet where you can't find me because I'm not saying. I live inside of your wallet also.
Of course, it's empty.
Yeah, joke's on you, it's empty.
And of course, you know me, 2KROs on Twitter, on TikTok. I really should go back to my YouTube channels besides Bugz2Men, but honestly, I really wasn't doing much on those. But yeah, Bugz2Men, of course. And I never plug my Instagram, but I'll plug it anyway. I mean, I pretty much post anything that I post on Twitter for photos and videos ends up on Instagram anyway. So Reggie Ray 93 on there. But yeah, pay attention. I've been doing a lot of artwork lately, so that's been pretty much been my hype. So.
Oh, one more thing. Thanks to everybody who entered the 1 year contest for the York Revive.
Yeah, I mean, there is
and
those who follow the rules essentially, because it seems like everybody kind of was still in the same mindset of the usual contest of, hey, retweet and like this and you'll be entered. Like, no, we have specific rules for that. Hopefully next year, for the 2 year, we plan out the next year's contest a little bit better. But
yeah. And also, I just want to say a big thank you to Vaughn and Sean for joining us, taking time out of their busy schedules. I've been trying to get Sean on for months, but schedules haven't aligned properly. Things have been happening behind the scenes. And I said it before and I'll say it again, Reggie. This is one of the best decisions we ever made as friends, is doing the show, because I love talking Toku. I love having an excuse to talk about the TV shows that constantly make me spend money, as you guys saw in this episode. Yeah, be real. Stay on the drugs. Say yes to buying Tokusatsu instead. Go while Reggie his artwork, because it's getting better and better.
It's Yor as
also-
Xian and Anya as Love Cove, staring in admiration at her mother.
And the last thing I will say is, let's go Yankees. Just to piss Sean off, because he's a Tigers fan.
You count the medals. 1, 2, and 3.
Talk to you guys in a couple of
Anything
weeks.
goes.
Coming up, O's!